Welcome back to SoundWater Tech. Today we will be installing the Cypress direct mount option onto a fracking service line, typically found in fracking and oil and gas applications. The Cypress Ultrasonic Flowmeter direct mount option is a two-piece ultrasonic clamp-on flowmeter, and this is typically used where there's high corrosion or the pipe is large. For this particular application, we're going to install it on a fracking service line, and in addition to being able to measure flow, we can also use it to mark the presence of sand, acid, or other materials that are within the pipe. And we do this by looking at the ultrasonic energy loss within the fluid. So essentially the sound will come out of the top transducer, pass through the pipe, and enter the bottom transducer. And we look at the amount of energy that we transmitted versus what came out the other side. And in doing that, we can see how much energy is lost and infer that there's different material inside the pipe and fluid. The Cypress direct mount option comes with the full kit of everything you need to install the flow meter on the service line. The only things that you need to bring are perhaps a socket wrench or screwdriver to tighten the straps down to mount the flow meter on the pipe. Also, you may want to find a Scotch pad and paper towels and a cleaner just to clean off the pipe before we install it. Okay, step one is clean the pipe. This is important so that we make sure the sound is coming out of the flow meter and going straight into the pipe. If there's dirt, gravelly, muddy stuff on the outside of the pipe, flaky paint even, that can cause the sound to bounce around between the transducer of the flow meter and the pipe, and that can corrupt our measurement. So we don't have to go too crazy here, but let's just make it nice. I'm going to start off with some Scotch pad, some cleaner. Okay, a little more liquid, and wipe it down. Step two is to figure out where we're going to put the flow meter. I've already cleaned this spot, and I only have a short section of pipe in our studio here to do the demonstration, so I'll be installing my meter right here. But if I was out in the field in the real world, I would consider how much straight pipe we have on this length upstream of the flow meter. So if I were to put my flow meter in this particular location, I would want to make sure there's at least 10 diameters upstream of the flow meter. So if the flow is coming from my right-hand side moving to the left, this is upstream, we would want 10 diameters. So this is a 3-inch pipe, so we would want at least 30 inches between the flow meter and any elbow or T or valve or something like that. And that just allows the fluid to stabilize before it hits the flow meter, and we can get a better measurement. Now, step three is to install the coupling pad. So this is the pad that helps get the sound out of the flow meter and into the pipe. And so we're going to install this coupling pad on the outside here and wrap it around the entire length of the diameter of the pipe. So we're going to install this silicone coupling pad onto the pipe, and again, that's so that the ultrasound from the flow meter can easily enter into the pipe, and we can make a flow measurement or measure the acoustic energy loss that's inside the pipe depending on what fluid is inside it. So again, surfaces should be clean before you install the silicone coupling pad. It does have an adhesive on the back, and you want to make sure it's bonded well to the pipe. Now the way to do this is do not just strip the backing off altogether and then try to put it on, because this is really floppy, and if it sticks to itself, this material's shot. So the best way to do it is just to start about 1 inch worth of the adhesive. So I'm going to peel away just a little bit, least amount as possible. Okay, so just a little bit here, and then I'm going to stick it on the pipe where our meter is going to go. And then I'm going to take this backing material, and I'm just going to peel it off as I wrap the silicone around the pipe. We're going to go all the way around. There we are. Yeah, nice and easy. And then I'm going to just press down the silicone all over around the pipe so that it's bonded well to the pipe. And this actually has dual functions. It helps the sound from the flow meter get into the pipe and out for the sending and receiving transducers, but it also is used to attenuate the sound that's going through the pipe that we don't want. So what we want is the sound that's passing between the transducers and going through the fluid. What we don't really care about is the sound that's going around the pipe in its wall, in the wall thickness of the pipe. So this helps attenuate that so it doesn't corrupt our actual flow measurement or energy loss measurement. So it's that easy. We're now ready to put the meter on the pipe. Okay, so now we can install our flow meter on top of the coupling pad that's on the pipe. Your coupling pad should still be clean, as well as the transducer faces in both halves. They must also be very clean. So I'm going to put the flow meter on top of the coupling pad, and the flow meter has magnets in it, so it'll sort of attach itself to any ferrous pipe, such as steel pipe. Makes installation a little easier. And this is important. Make sure that the transducer in each half here is sucked up all the way into its structure. And you can do that by moving this skinny knob here. So I'm moving it clockwise now, which makes the transducer stick out. And we don't want that because if I put it on the pipe this way, it doesn't axially align with the pipe automatically. So I can install it crooked, and then the sound will shoot in some funny direction and not hit our receiver. Very important, just suck this thing all the way up until it's clearly above each footing here. Now this piece sits nice and axially aligned. Okay, next important thing is these halves need to be 180 degrees apart on the pipe. Okay, why? Because the sound has to transmit from one transducer into the pipe and hit the receiver. So if it's off to the side, the sound's going to shoot through and come out somewhere on the side here and not hit this receiver. So this is not, you don't have to be super exact. The sound is sort of a beam, so there's plenty of slop, but do your best. So I'll just look from the side. Okay, great, looks about 180 degrees apart. Okay, now make sure that your transducer is located on the coupling pad. So here I've put it off to the side. That's not going to work, so we're going to move this thing. Very good. Now we're ready to install the straps. Okay, so we're going to install the mounting straps. These are just stainless steel hose clamps. It has a quick release, so it's a little easier to install. You're just going to need either a flathead screwdriver or a socket wrench. And we're just going to take the end of the hose clamp and we're going to put it through these slots in the side of the flow meter and then tighten it down. So here we go. And I'll adjust a little bit. Okay, it's still 180 degrees, good. Okay, quick comment about how tight do we make these straps? Well, the goal is to make sure this thing is going to be secured on the pipe and does not move over time, temperature variations throughout the day and the seasons, and with any mechanical vibrations in the pipe. So there needs to be some preloaded tension on this flow meter to sort of stay tight through all those conditions. And we don't want to damage anything. So we certainly don't want to have a torque wrench or socket wrench with a long handle and give it all you got. Okay, don't do that. Make sure it's tight. You can see sort of the bending happening in the hose clamp. It's when you first put it in, the hose clamp is loose and it's very round. As you tighten it, you can see the bending right at the flow meter. It will get tight as the hose clamp pulls down. So you want all the bend out, essentially. With this sort of a driver, you know, I can't get much torque on it because it's just a driver. There's no long handle. So I'll do about as tight as I can. And that's generally pretty good. That puts a lot of load on these straps. It can handle vibrations. It's plenty good. Okay, for the ultrasound, as far as that's concerned, all that it needs to do is actually contact the pipe. Adding more pressure does not help at all. And at this point, actually, the transducer is not contacting the pipe, and it shouldn't be. We're going to do that after we set our transducer spacing. Okay, so now the structure is mounted to the pipe. All that's left to do is set the transducer spacing. So there's a ruler on the flow meter on the bottom half here, and we need to slide the transducer into the right spot. Why do we have to do that? Because this meter can be installed on pipes ranging from 2 inches up to 12. So we need to make sure, depending on what the pipe we put it on, that the sound is going to transmit from one transducer through the pipe and hit the receiver. So if it's a bigger pipe, this receiver needs to be moved a little bit farther down so that it's at the spot where the sound is coming out across the pipe. It's easy to do. The app that we have to set up the flow meter will tell us exactly what to do. So let's do that now. This is the Orcus app, which is used to set up and view flow measurements. This is the first screen that you see when you launch the app, and this is a library of all the what we call locations, which is the particular pipe configurations and setups. And they are stored here so you can use them in the future. You don't have to repeat the setup. So we're going to create a new one, and I just hit this plus symbol in the right corner. I'm going to give it a name. We'll just call this test. And the only thing that we have to specify is the pipe. The liquid's defaulting to water, so that's fine. Let's hit pipe. We must specify the kind of pipe, which is a fracking service line. And the default size, 3. And the wall classification, the wall thickness, 1/2 inch. Okay, that's it. So let's just hit done. And now at the bottom of the screen is the transducer spacing, which we'll use to set up and space the transducer on our pipe. So we can hit done here, and that configuration is now being sent to the flow meter, and the flow meter will try to measure flow at this point. So now that we have our transducer spacing that we got from our mobile app, we need to actually set it on the flow meter. So we have to access the movable transducer. So one side, the top here, is this transducer is fixed. You can't move it. So since we're in the studio here, it's easy enough to turn the pipe upside down. Okay, so here is the transducer housing with the ruler on it. So in our app, we set up this 3-inch service line, and it said to put the transducer at 0.4 inches. So this large knob is used to lock the horizontal position of the transducer. So you don't need to turn it a whole bunch, just one little quarter turn, and it unlocks it, and it's free to slide. So we'll just move it to 0.4 inches and lock it back. Okay, so again, tension or torsion. You don't need to take a wrench to this. You might want to just give it a little nudge if this is going to be here a long time so it doesn't come undone, but there's absolutely no reason to really put any torque on this. It doesn't help anything. All this does is lock the horizontal motion of this transducer. Okay, so now that's in place. I'm going to rotate this back. Okay, the last step here is to put the transducers actually contacting onto the pipe. So I'm going to move these tall skinny knobs horizontally. I'm turning them clockwise, and they're pressed onto the pipe. And again, cleanliness is important when you first install the meter. After that, it can get dirty, there can be mud, rain, whatever, it's okay. But when you install it, make sure these spaces are clean. That is important. Okay, so again, how tight do we want it? Well, I will turn it down about as hard as I can. Maybe go back and forth. And that is sufficient. Okay, in this case, does more pressure help? No, to some extent. You want it nice and snug initially. If it's not nice and snug, it's kind of rattling around. Yeah, it won't work too well. The sound won't be able to couple into the pipe. but once it's snug, if I were to get a wrench and really crank down here, it's not going to help the meter do its job. So nice and snug. You might get some pliers and just do a quarter turn or so just to make some tension so the system here is loaded mechanically, and then so over time and thermal variations, it's not going to loosen up. But don't overdo it. You can actually, if you overdo it, you can rupture the coupling pad that's on the pipe, and then the sound won't be able to couple well into the fluid. So hand tight, maybe just quarter turn, half turn with a wrench after that. So we're going to attach power now. The unit comes with this cable. It's a standard M12 connector. The cord set has a pigtail on the other end with 5 conductors. The meter has a plug here. We're just going to thread in the wire. And this has an O-ring seal on it, so you can leave this outside for years. Now our wire colors on the other end of the cord set here, there's 5 wires. If you purchased the sand detection unit, the outputs on these wires are the gray and white wire. Gray is your analog 4 to 20 output, which is your signal loss. The white is a pulse output, which can be tied to the flow measurement if you want to use that. The other wires, the blue wire is your power, 12 to 24 volts DC. Black and gray are both common ground. And that concludes the installation of the Cypress Ultrasonic Flowmeter and Sand Detector. It's now ready for you to measure process changes in your fluid, mark flush, or measure flow. For more information about SoundWater and our products, check out our YouTube channel or soundwatertech.com.